Hey, what is up, fellow Raiders? This is Vulcan Dan, Raid Shadow Legends video here, and this video is for all of you beginner players out there who may be thinking, all right, in this game, I just need to build up a bunch of legendary champions. I don't need to worry about epics, don't need to worry about the rares. All I'm going to do is pull a lot of shards, build all of the legendary champions, because of course, if they're legendary, they should be the best in the game, right? Well, yes, it is very much a lot of fun to pull legendaries in this game because it's very difficult to get one, but if you do not build your epic champions, then you are making a big mistake in this game, especially of course if you are a new player, because a lot of the things that some of the epic champions do cannot be done by a lot of the legendary champions. So legendary champions are not necessarily better than epic champions. It really just depends on where you're going to use them, in clan boss, in dungeons. Depends on if they fit together, if their synergy works together from champion to champion. As you can see here, I am beating Faction War stage 20 for Skinwalker. This is my Faction War team that I beat stage 21 with, and I do have some legendary champions from the Skinwalker, but I have opted to just go ahead with these 5 epics and not use any legendary champions, even if I do have them right now, because I take a look at the legendaries that I have, and frankly, these epic champions do a better job than those legendary at beating this faction war. So it really just depends on what you're aiming for, what your goal is. If it's arena, dungeon, clan boss, faction wars, it just really depends. Some champions are better for one area in the game, and another is better for another. So don't just think that, all right, if I have a bunch of legendaries, then all is well. That is not the case. You definitely do want to build some epics, because as you can see here, we have Ursine Ironhide, which he's probably the worst epic in this team right here, but he does bring an AoE decrease attack that I really like, which is very useful for faction wars. And of course, we have Hofferys, which brings revives. We have Feindir that brings decreased defense. We have Basher that brings that skill right there that increases the cooldown of the enemy. And of course, we have Steel Skull right there to make sure that all of our champions are healed up. So yes, each champion has their role. Doesn't mean that they're an epic champion that they are weak, that they're weaker than legendary champions. They do excel in whatever they are built for. So yeah, so as you can see there, Basher's about to die there. The legendaries that I have don't have healing. So if I replace my healer with, let's say, an attack type champion, while I may be dealing a lot more damage, but some of my champions may fall off. So Steel Skull right there healed him back up. So yeah, if I didn't have him, if I replace him with an attack legendary, then yeah, the run might take longer. So some of those things might happen. So yeah, just want to show this to you, and let's finish this run, and I'll show you some of the legendaries that I have and why I am not using them for faction wars. All right, so here we are. I do have 2 legendaries from the Skinwalkers, which is War Chief and Cleopteryx. Neither of them are excellent for Faction War, so I opted not to use them because my epics are better. War Chief here brings single target provoke, which is useful for the Magma Dragon in the Doom Tower, but not for Faction Wars. We have Cleopteryx here that brings Hex on her A3 and a block active skill if the target is under Hex, which is great for Faction Wars, but Basher does a similar skill with his A2 to force the enemy to just use their A1, but this one does not need Hex, while Cleopteryx's move does require Hex, and this is on a 4-turn cooldown, unbooked, and I'll probably not book this because, of course, legendary books are more difficult to get than epic books, so you still have to consider that this is on a 4-turn cooldown, while Basher's skill right here is on a 3-turn cooldown when booked, and I do have my Basher booked out. So yes, you have to consider those. So technically, in this scenario for Faction Wars, I would prefer Basher over Cleopteryx. She does bring this fear if the target is already under Hex, but since I have no intention of booking up Cleopteryx, then this will remain a 5-turn cooldown. Hex just stays on the enemy for 3 turns, so most likely this fear will never see the light of day during Faction Wars, because that Hex will be long gone by the time she can use the skill again. So yeah, this is just an example of why you should not just simply focus on legendary champions. There are a lot of epic champions in this game that do a really good job. So of course, those are just 2 legendaries. What about the others? Hakorn right here is excellent for arena, but not really for faction war. So even if I did pull him, I would still probably not use him for faction wars. He is very useful in the arena for his A2, removes all debuffs from all allies and places block debuff for a more defensive team that goes second. Probably who will I use here for Faction Wars? Of course, Coronar is MVP for Faction Wars. Someone like a Brachus, maybe he does hit hard. Just have to make sure that he stays alive. We have Longbeard right here with the ally attack, maybe as well. He does not bring a decreased defense and weaken like a Fane, so I'm not even sure if he will be as good in the team. I could replace my Reviver with him, but of course I would risk not being able to revive if ever someone in my team falls. So yes, again, as a new player, you might be thinking legendaries are better than epics. Most of the time that is true, but do not forget that epic champions are really worth building. Now, lastly, what about the rare champions? Now, there are a lot of good rare champions in this game, but Plarium has released a statement recently, or not recently, maybe in the past few months, that they are not focusing on rare champions. So yes, do not really focus too much of your resources on rare champions. While in the early game, of course, because you do not have much of a choice, then yes, you do have to invest in a few high quality rares like Apothecary, your starter champion. But for the most part, don't worry too much about rare champions. While towards the end game, you might be forced to invest in some rare champions because of Doom Tower secret rooms, wherein you are only allowed to use certain rare champions. So yeah, so other than that, focus on epics, and of course try to pull as many legendaries as you can, but of course the usage in dungeons, clan boss, arena will depend on that champion's kit. All right, hope you found this useful. Have fun playing raid. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel for more beginner tips. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in my next video.